everyone, I am Cristina Fuentes from Ecuador. I work at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of my country. I belong to the Ecuadorian Evaluations Network. It's a BOPI founded in 2005. It hasn't been registered yet. Currently it has 15 members, very active, another 15 not so active, and it's mainly oriented to networking and public policy advocacy. I will talk about the SWOT analysis of an M&E of my country, the M&E system. I have identified three main strengths and weaknesses. The first one is related to the institutionality. There is an Undersecretariat of Evaluation within the National Planning Secretariat, and it has full capacity and resources. However, it hasn't an independent budget from the Planning Office. The second strength is that there is an extensive document called Guidelines for Evaluation, and it has a lot of concepts and very good explanations about evaluability or so on. However, it's still missing some criteria about quality and disaggregation of indicators. And also in the field, there hasn't been fully implemented by local governments. The third strength is that there exists a feedback of the M&E results from the Undersecretary of Evaluation to the line ministry that execute programs and public policy. And with this document, the ministries had to elaborate an action plan to improve. However, in practice, it has been identified that there is no complete follow-up to this action plan, and therefore there's no concrete linkage between the performance and the budget. Now I will talk about for overcome these weaknesses. Of course, you have to use the strengths to overcome the weaknesses, setting the last ones as priorities, and if it doesn't happen, the whole system can be threatened. I will not now talk about the SWOT analysis of my BOPI. I have identified 4 strengths and weaknesses. The first one is the institutionalization. It doesn't have fixed costs, and is flexible as it has not been registered yet. However, it limits its capacity to grow and to develop new relationships and to access to more funding. The second strength is that it has a diverse very senior and high-skilled evaluators. However, there has been identified very few young members, so it doesn't lead to an effective intergenerational work. So there's another strength related to the diversity of sectors and institutions, for example, government, academia, private sector, NGOs. However, it has been identified a very high centrality and dependence on the president and founder of the BOPI. And there's a highly dependence on voluntarism as well. And the fourth one is that the BOPI, because it is confirmed by senior people, has helped it to create other 2 BOPIs in my country. So there are 3 BOPIs in total. However, the weakness is that these 3 BOPIs doesn't relate so much each other so far, and they hasn't really developed things together. Of course, the main opportunity in this context is to use these strengths to overcome the weaknesses, setting, of course, the weaknesses as priorities, and in order to not let the BOPI decrease in its members and the voluntaries not to be burned out. As a whole, I can say that the future plans for the BOPI can be set in 4 axes of action. The first one regarding this institutionality, it should be registered in order to have more opportunities and grow. Of course, there's a big opportunity to work with academia, for example, in agreements for internship and mentoring programs, and it could be better off for both parties. There's another action plan related to the advocacy towards parliament and government authorities, high-level government authorities. So this can lead to effective advocacy. And there's another action plan, another axis of action, which relates to the communication plan. So they effectively communicate to advocate for public policy. And for example, one of the concrete actions is to develop a new website. I think that are the main actions proposed for the future. Thank you very much.